Welcome to Tuvalu, where the airport runway doubles as a social hub, and the entire country could disappear within 50 years due to rising sea levels. This isn't just another tropical paradise, it's a nation on the front lines of climate change, fighting for its very existence. In this video, we'll take you beyond the postcard-perfect beaches to explore the stark realities of life in Tuvalu. From the challenges of a cash-only economy to the innovative ways Tuvaluans are adapting to their changing environment, prepare for a journey that will challenge your perceptions and inspire you to rethink what truly matters in life. Imagine landing in Tuvalu, ready to explore this remote paradise, only to discover your credit cards are nothing more than useless pieces of plastic. Welcome to the cash-only economy of one of the world's most isolated nations. In Tuvalu, there are no ATMs, no credit card machines, and no easy way to access your funds from back home. For visitors, this financial system can be a shock to the system. You'll need to plan ahead and bring enough cash to cover your entire stay. But what happens if you run out, or if your flight is delayed and you need extra funds? The lack of financial infrastructure can turn a dream vacation into a stressful ordeal. But for Tuvaluans, this cash-based economy is simply a way of life. They've developed unique systems to manage their finances without modern banking. Many rely on traditional savings methods, like keeping cash at home or participating in community savings groups. These groups, often formed among family members or close friends, pool resources and provide loans to each other when needed. The impact of this cash-based system extends far beyond individual finances. It shapes the entire economic landscape of Tuvalu. Without easy access to credit or digital transactions, businesses operate differently. They rely more on personal relationships and trust. This can make it challenging for new enterprises to get off the ground, but it also fosters a strong sense of community and mutual support. As you spend time in Tuvalu, you'll start to notice how this financial system influences society and values. The lack of easy credit means people are less likely to make impulsive purchases or accumulate debt. There's a greater emphasis on saving and careful financial planning. This often translates into a more sustainable approach to consumption and a stronger focus on necessities rather than luxuries. But the cash-only economy is just one aspect of life without modern conveniences in Tuvalu. As we'll explore next, the limited access to another staple of modern life, the internet, has equally profound effects on daily life in this isolated nation. While we often complain about slow Wi-Fi, imagine living in a place where internet access is a luxury few can afford. In Tuvalu, only 40% of the population has internet access, compared to the global average of 60%. What would your life look like if you suddenly found yourself in this digitally sparse environment? Welcome to Tuvalu, where posting a selfie could cost you a week's wages. Internet access here is not just limited, it's incredibly expensive. A single gigabyte of data can set you back around $10, a significant chunk of the average Tuvaluan's income. This high cost means that for many locals, getting online is a rare and carefully planned event rather than a daily necessity. The contrast with our globally connected world is stark. While most of us take constant connectivity for granted, Tuvaluans have developed a different relationship with the digital world. This scarcity of internet access affects various aspects of life on the islands, from education to business. For students in Tuvalu, limited internet means limited learning opportunities. Access to online resources, which many of us consider essential for modern education, is a challenge. Local businesses also face hurdles in reaching broader markets due to their inadequate online presence. It's a situation that highlights the growing digital divide between developed nations and remote island communities. But there's an unexpected silver lining to this digital scarcity. Studies have shown that constant connectivity can lead to increased anxiety and stress. In Tuvalu, the limited internet access has preserved a way of life that values face-to-face communication and community gatherings. This fosters a strong sense of community, but also limits connections with the outside world. Tuvaluans have developed creative ways to overcome these internet limitations. They often share resources and knowledge within their communities, relying on local networks to stay informed and connected. This approach has led to a lifestyle that prioritizes personal interactions and community over digital engagement. Visitors to Tuvalu often find themselves adapting to this slower pace of life without constant internet access. Many report unexpected positive outcomes, such as forming deeper connections with locals and gaining a greater appreciation for the natural environment. It's a reminder that sometimes disconnecting can lead to more meaningful experiences. Imagine a place where rush hour means dodging crabs on the runway instead of battling traffic. Welcome to Tuvalu, where island time isn't just a saying. It's a cultural cornerstone that challenges everything we think we know about productivity and success. In Tuvalu, life moves at a different pace. The concept of island time isn't about laziness or lack of ambition. It's a reflection of a society that values community and natural rhythms over rigid schedules. Here, daily routines aren't dictated by the relentless ticking of a clock, but by the ebb and flow of island life. This laid-back lifestyle stands in stark contrast to the fast-paced Western world. While many of us are constantly rushing from one commitment to the next, Tuvaluans embrace a more relaxed approach. The main island of Funafuti is so small that you can walk around it in just 2 hours. This intimate setting naturally lends itself to spontaneous social interactions and a slower pace of life. But what impact does this slower pace have on work, relationships, and stress levels? Research suggests it might be more beneficial than we think. Health studies indicate that slower paced lifestyles like those found in Tuvalu can lead to lower stress levels and improved mental well-being. This is a sharp contrast to the high stress environments typical in Western cultures. The limited availability of modern amenities in Tuvalu encourages both residents and visitors to focus on what truly matters. Instead of being glued to screens or racing against deadlines, people spend more time engaging in face-to-face interactions and communal activities. Traditional dance parties, for example, are more than just entertainment. They're social gatherings that strengthen community bonds and provide a sense of belonging. This emphasis on community and leisure over urgency reflects deeper Tuvaluan cultural values. It's a lifestyle that prioritizes relationships and well-being over material success or individual achievement. In Tuvalu, being present and connected to your community isn't just nice, it's essential. As we continue to explore life in Tuvalu, we'll see how this unique way of life faces challenges in an increasingly globalized world. How can Tuvalu preserve its cultural identity while adapting to modern pressures? And what lessons can we learn from their approach to time and community? As we ponder the lessons from Tuvalu's laid-back lifestyle, a chilling question emerges. How do you maintain island time when your islands are disappearing? With the highest point in Tuvalu barely 4 meters above sea level, this paradise faces a ticking clock that no amount of relaxation can slow. Tuvalu's vulnerability to rising sea levels isn't just a future concern, it's a present-day reality. Some beaches have already vanished, and there are reports of islands being submerged. For Tuvaluans, the threat of losing their homeland is not a distant possibility, but a looming crisis that shapes their daily lives. The immediate threats are stark. Coastal erosion is eating away at the limited land area, while rising sea levels contaminate fresh water sources and damage crops. In the long term, the very existence of Tuvalu as a nation is at stake. Imagine the cultural loss if an entire country with its unique language, traditions, and way of life were to disappear beneath the waves. But Tuvaluans aren't sitting idle in the face of this existential threat. They're taking action to combat climate change and preserve their land. The government has initiated programs to prevent coastal erosion and construct seawalls. These efforts, while crucial, are like trying to hold back the ocean with bare hands. They buy time, but can't solve the underlying problem. But the potential disappearance of island nations like Tuvalu raises complex global questions. What happens to a country's territorial waters and national rights if its land vanishes? The international community is grappling with these unprecedented legal and ethical dilemmas. Despite the dire circumstances, Tuvaluans display remarkable resilience. They've established the Tuvalu Trust Fund, a financial safety net in anticipation of potential displacement. This proactive approach showcases their determination to secure a future for their people, even if it means reimagining what that future might look like. International support is also emerging. Australia's Prime Minister has offered full citizenship to Tuvaluans in exchange for fishing rights, highlighting the geopolitical implications of climate change. While this offer provides a potential lifeline, it also underscores the painful reality that Tuvaluans may one day be forced to leave their ancestral home. As we wrap up our journey through Tuvalu, we're left with a profound question. In a world facing climate change, how do we preserve unique cultures like Tuvalu's? The answer may lie in the very spirit of resilience and community that defines this remarkable nation.